Hey there, happy Wednesday, good morning. It is early in the morning before work. As usual, I got my coffee. It's still really hot. And my favorite devourment mug, I forgot to check if Corpse Gristle still has those for sale. I feel like he does. I don't think he does. Um, I think they were just a limited run. But anyway, uh, yeah, I've got a lot of cool stuff to show today and to just talk about in general. I had no intentions of doing like a collection update, but I did get several tapes in the last couple of days. And I figured, you know what? I'll throw them in this video just to show off and talk about because it's all good stuff. And one of them actually is a bit of a grail from my tape collection that I've been hunting for a while now. And I also got some cool stuff to show here, some relics that I've been waiting to do a video on. And I finally remembered this morning when I woke up. I saw the stack sitting on my record player back there. And I was like, you know what? I should do the video today. But before I get started, as promised, I also made like a commercial or reel the other day. But yes, the koozies are in. So here is the Melanie Loves Death Metal white logo koozie. Very, very nice. As you can tell, I've been using them. And then here is the Gator Chomp Melanie Loves Death Metal black koozie. These are available in my store. Link is in the bio or the description, the bio and the description of this video. Several people have bought these already and have been showing them to me. This was, funny enough, one of the most like requested pieces of merch that I make outside of shirts and stickers and stuff. So I do have stickers, I do have patches, I have magnets available too. I actually ordered a bunch of those. I ordered a bunch of these. These are kind of like samples I was waiting to get. So I approved them and I'm ordering a bunch of these. I'm going to be doing a bunch of giveaways and sending off care packages to people and stuff. There's also very limited runs of other stuff on my merch store. And yeah, so I'm happy how those came out, especially this one. This one looks sick. Looks so good with that white background. Turned out really, really well. I have a logo that can be a little bit of a pain. I was talking to somebody about this, about printing it onto merch because of how, funny enough, detailed it is. But it turned out really well. So yeah, those are available. Link in the description. So there we go. It's summertime. It's time to sit by the pool with some death metal koozies. But okay, I'm going to start off with a couple of tapes really quickly. I'm just going to blow right through them because I want to spend some time on these old zines and magazines that I got sent to me. Some pretty cool stuff. This actually might be a little bit of a longer video today because of that. But I got several tapes in. I'm going to start with the one that I was most excited about, admittedly. I had a friend of mine on Instagram. He goes by the name of Beyond the Lichgate on Instagram. Messaged me like 2 or 3 weeks ago and said, "Hey, I know you've been looking for this tape. It's up on Discogs right now. Just got posted. It's a little bit pricey. It's not something I would pay, but you actually might want it." And immediately, as soon as I saw the message, I went over and I looked at the posting and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just snag it. Honestly, the price really wasn't that bad considering some of the tapes I've bought in the past. It really wasn't that bad. So I went ahead and I got it, and it finally came in yesterday, and that's right, I finally got Four Dimensional Flesh by Afterbirth on cassette tape. So a little bit of a story behind this. Lifeless Chasm put this out on a very, very limited run. Obviously was licensed by Unique Leader at the time because that's when Afterbirth was on that label. And I think these were like limited to maybe 100. I feel like, I can't remember. I have to look it up, but they sold out super fast. And then they also did like a special box set with these tapes in there too, and those are gone. Like those are like very special hand-drawn boxes and stuff like that. And these were sold out. They've never been reprinted on cassette tape ever since. And man, when was this? Let me look it up. Let's look it up because I forgot how long ago these were put out. Because it was was it either right after the album came out or something like that? So it's been years. It's been years that this has been out. So Four Dimensional Flesh came out in 2020 on Unique Leader Records. This is the second full length by Afterbirth. and Lifeless Chasm pressed these the same year. So this was the only variant of it. I'm looking at Discogs because I can't. Yeah, it was limited to 100 professionally manufactured. Yeah, so limited to 100 copies. So this was completely sold out. And I'm seeing like on Discogs only 33 people have it in their Discogs. Obviously, people don't always use and mark Discogs or stuff in their Discogs, but every time it was popping up for sale, it was like almost $100. People are just fucking stupid. This one, admittedly, was like $20 plus some shipping, so it ended up being a little bit over $30 with tax. That is pretty pricey for cassette tapes. Some people probably think I'm crazy, but I've actually paid more for a couple of cassette tapes that I have in my collection. And that was, to me, was a steal considering I have never found one pop up like this, that it was actually something I could afford. Like I said, they go for stupid prices. So now I just need to get to the Time Traveler's Dilemma, the Lifeless Chasm version that they put out on cassette tape. Yes, I have the CDs. Yes, I have the vinyl records. This is one of my all-time favorite death metal bands. As you guys know, Cody was on my channel 2 years ago when In But Not Of was out and was my album of the year. Fucking love that album. So I've been wanting to get a whole run of their collection, especially the cassette tapes. Look at that. Oh, it's so good. I love the sticker. Lifeless Chasm is just such an awesome label too. So yeah, I was super pumped. And actually, the person that I bought this from recognized my name and was like, wait, is this Melanie Love Death Metal? I was like, yep, that's me. I've been really wanting this for a long time. So I was super excited about it. Yeah. And Lifeless Chasm has really nice quality pressings of their tapes, and I love the J cards that they do with really cool layouts. So yeah, this album is phenomenal. This album is really what made me fall in love with this band a lot. I love their first album too, and I love the last album they put out is probably my favorite so far. But yeah, I've been adding on to my Afterbirth collection finally this year. I got one other thing. I'll do a whole video on it, and I'll show it recently. I've just been waiting to record it. So yeah, this is kind of like a grail that I've been looking for. Now I've got to get the Time Traveler's Dilemma. That's the next one that I'm going to be going for. The other grail that I have been looking for was Lobotomy, one of their demos. And that's actually got reissued, and I actually saw it sitting on Iron Fortress's distro the other day, so I just snagged it. But that'd be cool to get a demo, but back then. But I think that's impossible. But anyway, so I grabbed this. Next up, two other tapes that I got. Actually, one was sent to me in the package for free, was thrown in there for free, so thank you so much. But it's been a while since I've talked about Caligari on here. Caligari Records, actually based out of Tampa, so I love ordering from him because I get it in like 2 days. So, Extinguished, Foul Stench Adoration. So, this was popping up on YouTube a lot for me lately as like, you're probably going to like this. And I finally listened to it after it's sitting there in my suggestions, and I was like, man, who put this out? And it's Caligari. I was like, Jesus, I need to start paying more attention to Caligari again. I used to buy from them all the time, and then it's been a while. So this is a Finnish band. So it's Finnish death metal done right. Yes, it's got a little bit of a modern sound. They do it in their own way, but they also you can tell, lay influence to the Finnish death metal scene on here as well. This is an EP, I should say, that came out this year, so this is going to be one of my top EPs. And they also have a demo out called Vomitous Manifestations, and now I'm hunting that. I feel like, did Caligari also put that out? They did. I should go see if it's on their site. But this came out back in February, so it's been lingering. But this is very, very good EP. If you like Finnish death metal, you're gonna love this. If you like old school death metal, you're gonna like this. This is phenomenal. And I've been playing this a ton ever since I got it a couple of days ago. And like I said, this is definitely going to be one of my favorite APs to come out this year. So smoky tape there, and then a very, very simple J card. There you go. And then the artist is not credited on this, so Couldn't tell you who it is, unfortunately. There are absolutely no credits on this J card other than it says Caligari right here, and then on the other side is the track names. So, but yeah, this is still available on Caligari's site. They have a store NB, and then they also have Bandcamp, so you can get it at both of those. I'll link both in the description. Bandcamp, I think, is like $1 more just because Bandcamp charges fees and shit like that, so they gotta try and make some money on there. But either way, with Bandcamp, you at least get the digital download if that's something that you prefer. But yeah, this is phenomenal. And then he was awesome enough to throw in a freebie because he obviously he recognizes my name. And he knows who I am and buying from for a long time. And funny enough, I didn't have this. I was surprised. So Ignacio is Caligari, and he threw this in the package. Usually just throws in extra tape. I remember the first time he ever did this, I messaged him and was like, did you mean to do that? And he was like, I did. So I always appreciate that. It's never expected, so thank you so much. But this one I did not have, and I'm surprised I didn't have this because I actually really, really like this band. And I'm pumped about this new EP that they have out this year that I got to snag. So this is Desekyrptor, I believe is how you say it. They are a death metal band out of the U.S., or Indiana, I believe. And this is their EP called Curse of the Execrated that came out in 2023 in Caligari, and this is so good. I also believe they're on Blood Harvest too. They had another release that came out a while ago. I think it was called Chasm of Rot, which was either a comp, and I think the comp had both their demos in there. I'm like hunting for this stuff now, but for some reason I didn't have this. I remember when it came out and I really, really liked it. So this is just suffocating and in your face, super heavy, dark death metal. You almost, yeah, I mean, the album cover right here pretty much explains it. It's so good. It almost feels like this has kind of like the Netherlands vibe of death metal, with a little bit of a tinge of just a tinge of like a doomier blackened element to it, just a tinge. But yeah, so it's this nice white tape. And this EP is fucking phenomenal. This came out in 2023. I've been playing this a ton, so thank you so much, Ignacio, for sending this to me. This is actually still available too, which I'm shocked about. So I really like this black and white, the artwork and the aesthetics around it. And then there's the other side. There's the guys. And then it says who's the artwork is by. So yeah, they have a new EP out called Sarcophageal Corridors or something like that. And I need to grab it. I can't remember who the hell put that out. I literally just shared it to Simon. Nuclear Winter. I just shared it to Simon the other day. I was like, I need to snag this. And it looks like they put it in like a slim CD case, like the old school slim CD single cases, which I like. Those are coming back. So yeah. This is still available. Awesome stuff. And no, that's not a typo. Yes, the name of the album cover is backwards, but that's not a typo. That's just how it is. So, yeah. So those were the 3 tapes that I got that I wanted to show off. I actually got another one in yesterday, but I have not listened to it fully, so I'm not going to talk about it on here. But it's the new Gaffed album on Gurgling Gore. And CDN Records, so I'll talk about that in another video when I sit down with it and have more time on it. I know people have already heard it a lot because they've got the CD and stuff, but I finally got the tape in from them. So, okay, now to this. You're probably like, what the heck is all this? So a while ago, Marty from Heavy Metallurgy, Marty Worm, Binder, sent me a massive package with like 30 CDs and 30 cassette tapes, and then another package like a week later with these zines in them. This one was a complete and utter shock. I didn't know this was coming, and he finally told me like, oh, hey, the package delivery, you should go get it. When I opened it, I was like, what is this? These are some old magazines and zines that he had in his collection that he sent to me that he knew I would love to have. And I've talked several times on here how I don't really collect them, but this year I pretty much am probably going to start now because I keep getting really cool ones sent to me. It's like, all right, guys, fine. You finally have convinced me I'm going to start collecting zines again. But the top two on here that I noticed right away were these bad boys. Yeah, that's right, Corpse Gristle. So I have he sent me the first 2 issues of a Corpse Gristle magazine that they put out back in the 90s, and this is just phenomenal. Issue number 1, fucking finally. Here's the cover: Cannibal Corpse, Incantation, Devourment, Dying Fetus, Cephalic Carnage, Mortician, Sabbatic Feast, Severance, and Vital Remains. Look at that. Those are all the interviews that are in this zine, the very first Corpse Gristle zine, with artwork on both sides. Now, this is a black and white copy. The next one, they did it in color. This is, oh my god, talk about a relic that I am never getting rid of. As many of you know, Corpse Gristle is like one of my all-time favorite labels. I collect like almost everything they put out, and Paul sends me a lot, or the Hound sends me a lot of stuff. So yeah, God, it's so cool. So in the beginning of the zine, it has the credits of like who put this together, who did the artwork, and you'll recognize the names there, Mike, and all that stuff. And then on this side, it has a ballot. We here at Gristle are curious to see who your favorite bands, artists, etc. are in the underground are. So take a little time out of your time and fill this out and mail it back to us. So funny enough, I actually might do a video where we fill this out. I'm not going to send it to them, but I think that'd be funny. So this is just an amazing death metal relic. Here is a Cannibal Corpse interview. There we go with their original logo. So you guys can stop being pissy that it's the new one. This is with, of course, Jack, and this is back when Rob quit, and yeah. So, pretty cool interview there. I mean, of course. So Marty knew exactly what he had here, and he sent it to me because he knew that I would appreciate this and love it, which I do. Just simply incredible stuff. And I have looked through these several times already. So here's a interview with Eric from Incantation back then. Just an awesome, like, actual like magazine, but done in the zine way with the Xerox and all that stuff. Here's a Vital Remains interview. Who is this with? Joe Lewis of Vital Remains. Dying Fetus interview. So I mean, these are all back when you know, the bands back in the 90s. So Dying Fetus at this time had only had their demo. There's a Mortician interview with Bud, and then a Devourment interview, which, you know, Devourment basically is like Corpse Gristle at this point. This is back when Wayne was still alive. So yeah, I like the layout of this too. Really cool with those back images and stuff like that. And then let's see here. Some cool artwork in the centerfold. So yeah, just a really, really cool gem here. Like a metal relic. And then there's CD reviews in the back. So in the reviews are Cryptopsy's None So Vile. So this says, this CD is the motherfucking shit. Cryptopsy's None So Vile is one of the most sick, brutal, and without a question, fastest death grind albums ever recorded. If you like your music insanely fast and unrelenting powerful, then you better get your hands on this fucker. If you've heard Cryptopsy's first release, Blasphemy Made Flesh, you have an idea of what I'm talking about, but none blows it away. I kind of agree with that. Depending on the day, it depends. I go back and forth about which one is my favorite. And so then also the other CD review is Deeds of Flesh Trading Pieces. From its unrelenting blast riffs to his brutal vocals, this CD made me realize there is more to California than a bunch of rehashed Metallica wannabes. Deranged, High on Blood, Disinterment, Endless. Let's see here. what's the other? Dying fetus, putrefaction through violence. So yeah, there you go. That's you just know like what the time frame of this. And then hemorrhages is groom is also a CD review. We've got Incantation, the Forsaken Morning of Angelic Anguish. Oh god, I love that. Yeah, Morbid Angels, Entangled in Chaos, Leviticity is Fetish for the Sick, Mortal Decay, Sickening Erotic Fanaticism, I mean. Yeah, so, and then Morticians Hacked Up for Barbecue, Obituaries Back from the Dead, Pyrexia, System of the Animal, Scattered Remnants, Inherent Perversion, Testaments, Demonic, Vader's De Profundis. Oh, nice. Yeah, so this was just fucking phenomenal. And then there's also demo reviews in here. So they went all out, man. Cephalic Carnage's demo. Who else? Dead End's demo. That's a great demo. Yeah. I gotta pull that out. I haven't listened to that in forever. Yeah, just a Leviticity demo. Reputilation's Purging of Impurity demo. Classic stuff here. Just yeah. So this was the first copy. And then the second one in that box, let's see, what are we at? 21 minutes? All right, so I'll show like 2 more. The second one was issue number 2, and they want color. Nice glossy color. And in this one, you can see Internal Bleeding, Suffocation, Deicide, Morbid Angel, Cryptopsy, Immortal Suffering, Prophecy, Viral Load. Yeah, Vile. Yeah, there you go. 6 Feet Under. Interesting. And then on the back is some more. And these are in phenomenal shape. Like, don't fucking mess with Texas. And this is John Zegg's artwork, who is a classic, iconic artist in the scene. One of the best, another one of my all-time favorites. I got to get some of his prints hung up in my room. But here's something really cool. I don't know if Marty knew this was in here or not. So Jeff Wagner, back then, this is when they did Worm Gear together, and people would send them stuff to review and stuff like that. So here is the actual letter that was sent to them from Corpse Gristle saying, like, hey, check out the Corpse Gristle zine. Here's 2 copies of each. They were $3 at the time. And yeah, we focus on brutal death grind. We're not much for melody or atmosphere. Any exposure would be awesome. So that was in here. And there's a nice little Corpse Gristle seal on this piece of paper. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I'm going to keep that in there. I'm not sure if Marty knew that was in there. I'll send a picture of him and see if maybe he might want it back. I'm not too sure. But remember, if it ain't brutal, don't fucking send it. So this basically goes through about like how to send them stuff. And the credits page, like who did the artwork and who did the interviews and all that stuff. And then here is here's some like reviews of the first zine that they put out. And yeah, so in here is Internal Bleeding interview. This one's a little bit more better quality than the first copy. So yeah, Deicide and Suffocation. Like, if you guys know me, like, you know this is, like, these are perfect. If every zine, well, pretty much every zine that's out now in the scene is like this. Here's Cryptopsy interview. Was this with Whisper Supremacy on Century Media Records? Okay, so yeah, never mind. But yeah, Morbid Angel, some awesome Zig interview with his artwork here. Yeah, this is Viral Load. Just, this was an awesome, and this is starting to get more into like the realms of Corpse Gristle when they were putting out these things as well. Like Immortal Suffering is just, yeah, amazing stuff here. Your ad could be here. Full cover, back, $200, full page. That's actually pretty cheap. I think that, I don't know how much expensive it is now to put in magazines. Probably not as expensive. And then the ballot results. Here are the results of the ballot presented in the first issue of Corpse Gristle with the ballots returned from a local scene. So that's that little questionnaire that they had in the first one. So they actually had the ballot results. So the most picked favorite band was Devourment, which I'm not surprised about. Their favorite album cover was Butchered at Birth. Least favorite album covers, the original Swamped in Gore, Broken Hope. I'm trying to remember what that one looked like. All I have is in the like new modern or like the remade version. Favorite live band, Suffocation. Least favorite live band, Mortician. God damn. When I saw them live, I thought they were pretty good. Maybe they had an off time. Favorite bassist, let's see, favorite drummer, favorite guitarist, John Gallagher. Interesting. I would not have picked John Gallagher as a favorite guitarist. No shot at him, but I'm just saying. Favorite album, Effigy of the Forgotten. Yeah, so least favorite demo, too many to list. Favorite demo, Impaled by Devourment. Nice. Least favorite album, several different answers, but no one answered the same. Aw, come on, guys. You should have listed off some of them. So, yeah. Where are we at? 25 minutes? All right, let me see. Oh, here we go. Immortal Suffering artwork. There we go. Oh, that's cool. I don't think I noticed that the first time I looked through this. Yeah, 6.1. What is this? Oh, just some more interviews. Here's some reviews again. So you get the Abhorrence Ascension demo. Nice. That's a grail there. I would love to have that. Evulsed, Cybergore, Anal Blast, Centurions. Ooh. A Pure Fire demo. Nice. So yeah, just trying to see what demos they talked about and albums. Man, there's a ton. For whatever reason, Incantation is circled right here. So I'm assuming maybe they... And then, I don't know, I'm assuming maybe whoever had this, which was like Jeff or Marty, maybe they talked about that in one of their Worm Gear things. And then, yeah, so that was the second copy of it. I'm curious to know how many issues Corpse Gristle put out. Like, how long did this go for? I'm not too sure. But, yeah, some cool stuff. I actually sent this to Paul and I was like, yo, look what Marty sent me. And he thought that was pretty cool. So, also in that same package was a bunch of other ones. And I'll do another episode on all of these. But this is Pit magazine, Pit 30 magazine. I'm not too familiar with this. This is a little bit before my time, which is nothing. $4.95. Wow, magazines are still that price right now. But this has something in it. Oh, it has a CD. Necropolis Records, Pit magazine. Oh, nice. Holy shit. I did not know this was in here. I haven't looked through all these yet. There is a CD in here, compilation CD, that came with this magazine. Babylon Horror, Samael, Amon Amarth, some stuff I'm not too big of a fan of, but still kind of cool. Obviously, it's never played. So yeah, this magazine is pretty cool. I don't think I've ever owned one of these. I looked it up, but again, pretty much before my time. But, you know, it's a really nice magazine. Talks about, like, here's the ad on the back. So again, Marty knew exactly what he was sending me, that he knew I would enjoy this. But again, this is, you know, this is a really cool metal magazine. And here's an old Century Media Records ad of shit that I probably will never ever listen to. Maybe that's Skin Lab. No, not Skin Lab. No, I wasn't into that. Let's see here. Let me scan through here. Try to find some cool stuff. Let's see. It's quite a bit of bands. Here's a Cannibal Corpse interview. So, yeah, quite a bit of stuff. A lot of color, just a ton of there's like reviews and stuff like that. So let's see. We've got some new metal going on in here. Getting close to the new metal time. When was this out? Does it have a year on it? No. This was issue number 30 of the Pit magazine. He sent me several other ones. Let's see here. These ones are cool. These are pretty cool. I've never actually seen these like in person. I know what they are, but yeah, just another awesome magazine. And this one has just a bunch of like earache bands and stuff like that. So he sent me a couple of these. And then there's one more. This one was cool. I read through all this one because it had Bertram. Don't cancel me. This was another death metal zine magazine. I can't remember where this one came. Ooh, Mind Rot was on the back. Nice. That's a great album. So yeah, he's just sent me a ton of this stuff. So I'll go through these in another episode. He also sent me this Discordia zine, which is, oh, I forgot where this came from. But this one, was it Canada? It might have been Canada. This one has a little bit more underground stuff, some stuff I was not too familiar with, some bands that I had never heard of, or some stuff that I hadn't like really knew much about. There was a Dead End and Eternal Bleeding interview in here. So yeah, this came from Canada. So there's Discordia, and then there was this one that he sent, which was called Sermon, and this had Flesh Grind, Incantation, Dead End, Bolt Thrower, Rotting, Dark Funeral. This was pretty cool. Issue number 10. Here's an old metal blade. Article ad in the back. Let's see here. There's a Bolt Thrower interview. Let's see. Dark Funeral interview. I can't remember where this one was from. I looked it up and I forgot where it said this one was from. Flesh Grinds and Rotting, which is funny because all these things are getting reissues right now. So it's like they're back in circulation for people, and like they're getting popular again, which is funny. And then Cryptopsy and Incantation. So yeah, I forgot where this one was from. Maybe it says in the beginning. This one is from California. So this was a zine out in California. I don't remember how many they ran though. But there's also a Dead End interview. The sermon is found the following: metalcore distribution. Damn, does it say who's in it? I can't find. So I don't know, but yeah. Here's all the. If you want to pause it and read that, you can. But yeah, so thank you, Marty, for sending me these relics. I'll do another one in the video when I don't have much music to talk about. So yeah, awesome stuff. This was a huge surprise, and again, I'm back to wanting to collect these now. They're going to go down here with the other stack of zines that I have. Some more zines that I showed off recently. Preservation of Death on Noxious Ruin. This is all old school death metal in here. Some underground stuff that you may not have heard of or you haven't heard in a long time. It also came with a mixed tape. And then the new Metal Execution zine is out. So yeah, I've got all these zines now that I'm starting to collect. And they just go down there with my books and stuff. So that's all that I have. Pretty cool stuff. Check out these releases. And then, I mean, you probably know Afterbirth. But yeah, this Extinguished is phenomenal. Check this out. One of the best EPs to be released this year so far. Hope you guys are having a great week, and I'll see you in the next one.